everyone, I'm Olivia Alexander. Welcome to my studio. I thought this morning that I'd just show you how I start, one of the ways that I start painting. It's mainly about getting something onto the white paper or the white canvas and getting rid of that awful austere surface that can be a little bit scary to get started on. So I have multiple ways of starting my paintings, but I thought I'd just show you one this morning, which is just really getting some marks onto the canvas. And I'm starting with just a simple graphite pencil. This is a 2B because I want to just make some marks. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to let this be intuitive. I'm just going to let really just let my hand guide me and see what marks come up, because this is only going to be the first layer. There'll be many layers on top of this, and you'll see hints of it peeking through the other layers, but a lot of it will actually be covered in the end. So I just dropped and broke my pencil, and here we go. I'm just going to swap over to my non-dominant hand. I'm actually left-handed, but I do paint with both hands, paint and draw with both hands. But sometimes just using your non-dominant hand just helps you to not be overthinking and over-controlled. I want to make a variety of lines that are not the same pressure or the same value, which simply means dark or light. I'm swapping to my graphite stick, which is a lot darker. It's important to have different values in your work, not overdoing it, but at least have to have a light and to have a dark, a very strong dark. I'm not overthinking where this is going, but I've got a few 3 watercolour pencils here, actually in the primaries, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in. Might look a bit strange at the moment, but just remember this is just the first layer. And I find that painting's a little bit like your journeys in life, that you go through different things in life, different experiences, good, bad, the ugly, whatever, but those experiences build up in your life and create a picture of who you are and who you become, and the painting's a little bit like that. Something I always keep in mind when I'm working is if I don't like something, I can cover it up. I can paint over areas, I can rub them out. Actually, that reminds me, I need an eraser. This is just a kneadable eraser. I'm just going to rub a couple of bits out. Also, because these are watercolour pencils, just going to put a little bit of water here and there and just see what happens with that. I can just make them run a little bit where I want to. Just adds a bit of interest, a bit of character to the piece. I usually use a wooden board, but at the moment they're all packed away and I couldn't get hold of them, so I'm using this piece of foam core, which is not the best. Anyway, that's the start with that. Next we'll go on to putting some paint on, and I'll show you some of the tools that I use to do that. Hi again, I'm Olivia Alexander. Welcome back to my studio. In the second part of the tools that I use in my painting, I thought I'd just show you a few different things. I've been just working a bit into this painting, which is just me building up some layers and some interesting marks. I'm just using a Carandash watercolour stick here, just putting in a few darks. I haven't quite decided yet where the focal point's going to be. That will evolve with time as I change parts of the painting. But some of the tools I've got here this is a silicone basting brush. You just get it from the cooking section or from just the discount stores, have them for a few dollars. You just get a different mark with this. Because it's got a little bit of flick in it, you can just create some different marks to the painting, which add a bit of interest. I also use things like plastic forks, old toothbrushes. They're great for giving a texture mark, but also just for flicking paint onto a surface. I have a icing spatula. This is a silicone one, and it's quite flexible. It's great just for spreading paint on if you want to just get that little bit closer and get the paint moving. Another thing is this, which is actually used for measuring out spaghetti pasta, but I find that the circles are great if I need to put a circle in somewhere, so it always ends up in the studio. This is a brush that I bought. It's actually a varnishing brush for varnishing floors, but it's very square and blocky, short bristles, but this just gives a very different mark. You can stipple with it or just use it to move paint around, and because you can get your hand right down on there, it feels really good if you really need to have that bit more control, especially if you're spreading quite heavy paint. It gives you that bit of strength without straining your wrist. What else have I got here? Okay, and just one to finish. This is actually from my days when I used to do dressmaking and making clothes. It was for marking with carbon paper onto the material of where I would cut it, and it's just got a spinning wheel with little spikes on it. You run it through the wet paint. Put some just very fine little dots in certain areas. They're just fun things to play with and to experiment in with your art. So I hope you got something out of that today, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.